are you? Welcome to your May 2016 love and general readings. I'm going to go ahead and just jump right in. So here we go. One. Okay, Virgo, let's see. Really getting a sense of that there was some period of time recently, or something that you're going through now, where you have really felt a little bit isolated, or felt a little bit shut out. And I feel like this has caused you to lose a little bit of hope, to lose a little bit of that sparkle, okay? And I think this phase has really been like the ending of something, okay? Now, if you're in a relationship, it doesn't mean the end of your relationship. It just means the end of a state of mind, an end of a state of being, okay? If there is some other area in your life that might be making you feel this way, not necessarily just your relationships, but any area can affect any other area in your life, right? So that state of mind, that state of feeling a little bit alone, even if you are in a relationship, if you're not in a relationship, maybe that loneliness on some level has really affected you in some way. And we can be and feel lonely when we have people around us that love us very, very much. But I'm really seeing that it is coming to a close, right? And I think that's something to be really, really excited about, because with new beginnings, we feel refreshed, we feel happy, and we feel excited, right? If that's something that you've been going through recently, okay, from today in the past to, past few months, you're probably feeling a little bit of that lightening already, okay? You're feeling excited, you're feeling a little bit happy, you're feeling, this is, a card of victory, a card of success, right? You've gone out there, you've weathered the storm, you've been to battle, and now you're coming home and you're being celebrated, and you yourself are elated. And if you're not there yet, there's definitely something like that coming, right? Kind of like that idea, like if I can make it through this, I can make it through anything. And to be victorious in that battle is something that it comes with it additional responsibility, because now, as we grow as people, we become more capable. And, in business, they call it quality problems, right? As you grow, as your business grows, your problems get more substantial, they get more important, they affect more people. Very similar in a relationship setting, the more you can go through, the more you deal with, the more you progress as a couple, or even as a single individual, the more things come your way, right? Good things, but they are responsibilities, they are obligations nonetheless. With the world, it really, the world and death, two major arcana, actually, well, we have three right in a row here. There is an indication of delay amongst all of this. Death itself is a process. It takes time to move from one phase to another, okay? This is not going to be some very sudden change or state of mind. It's going to come very gradually. It's not something that you're going to be able to detect. You're not going to be able to perceive it, okay? It's one of those things where a year from now, you're going to look back and say, oh, wow, like that really was what I was going through. Like even right now, you might not be realizing it. But I am getting a sense of like hopelessness for some reason. And it saddens me a little bit to say that, but at the same time, with hopelessness and with, feeling sad and feeling lonely, it allows us to like prioritize, right? Sometimes we get a little bit lost in ourselves. We get a little bit lost in our thoughts and our dreams. We're in more like a fantasy-like state. And we lose sight of the end goal. We lose sight of what it is we really want, what it is we're really looking for. And in this confused state, sometimes we kind of do it to ourselves, right? This isn't anyone's fault. I'm not seeing anyone's, external presence here, affecting us. It's very much just within us. And when we feel like this in a relationship or when we are dating, it's difficult for the other person to connect with us. It's difficult for us to connect with them. And it's just something that I think you're just going to have to work through. I'm Virgo too. It's just something you're just going to have to work through. And something that will come in time. Okay, things will come to a close. This wheel is always spinning. It's always turning. There's always a new revolution on the horizon, right? Time goes on, life goes on, and life changes every day based on the decisions that we make every day. For me, this too is a card of creation, right? A reminder that we create the world in which we live. If you are feeling a little bit sad, a little bit shut out, a little isolated, a little misunderstood, remember your role in that. Remember that ultimately we are responsible for our state of mind, What I love about this reading in the very end is this 8 of Cups. Okay, that moving on. There's very much this is a very directional reading, right? Like almost all the people in this reading are looking forward. Okay, everything is looking toward the future, toward the new phase, okay? This not only indicates closure, any closure is a new beginning. This is the end of a significant period of time, an era in your life. And that indicates that new beginning. And here you are successfully completed this round, okay? This round of your life. You've successfully completed, and now I think you feel ready to have more in your life. This speaks very well to single individuals, maybe individuals who have been dating for a while. I think now you're really feeling like, okay, I'm really ready for something, with someone that I can grow with, someone that I can share my heart with, share my deep, dark secrets with. And for those of you in a relationship, this is an evolving, deepening connection with that partner. Something that is more tangible and more real, right? And I think there's an element of respect that comes in, and you respecting them and them respecting you, okay? And a deepening of that connection there. Interesting to have the Page of Cups in reverse here. And I'm doing reversals this month. I don't know if you notice or care, but I accidentally started my readings not thinking about, prepping my deck and turning them all right side up, because I do reversals in my private readings. So I'm just going to go ahead and just do it this way since I started. But the Page of Cups is, in reverse, is kind of like for me, a realization that someone or something just isn't right? Like maybe you haven't been dating the right people. You haven't been getting the right offers. The connection hasn't been in sync. You haven't quite found that person yet. And I think that alone, for people who are single, might be cause for this state, this idea of feeling a little bit alone, feeling a little bit isolated, and even holding to very, very high standards the idea of love, the idea of what it's supposed to be. Maybe there's someone that you've been really thinking about a lot or obsessing about, and you have this idea of what it should be, and you have such high hopes for that, but yet it keeps falling short, right? Okay, because no one can live up to perfection. That's an impossible expectation. And I think that hope is, like I said, it's coming to an end. Things are going to come down to reality. You're going to feel free. Because in some ways, our hopes can be mental prisons, right? In some ways, especially if they're a little bit too heavy. And if we don't achieve those things, if we don't attain those things, we look to ourselves and say, well, what am I doing wrong? What's wrong with me? Why doesn't this person like me? Why don't they feel this way about me? And that in and of itself can be very, very toxic to ourselves, right? Just because someone doesn't feel that connection with us doesn't mean that we are not the best person, right? And if you're in a relationship, there could just be some, like I said, some expectations there on your part, well, mostly on your part, that is just a little bit difficult for other people to live up to. And when you realize they aren't able to, when they realize they aren't able to, it does put a little bit of a wedge between two people. Okay, now, but that's just temporary. This is an ever-evolving reading, right? Every month it's different. Every day it's different. Every week it's different. So life changes. Life moves on. Whatever state of mind this is, however this speaks to you, there is an end in sight. There is leaving it behind and moving on, moving towards something bigger, something better. Okay, hopes, not to say they're all entirely empty. It's good to have hope, but it's also good to look within and work towards certain things and make ourselves better people and give back to others and find peace in some way, in the idea that maybe whatever hope you're hanging on to isn't supposed to be, that there are other things in store for you, and that now is the time to go after those things. Okay? I don't want you to think this is a depressing reading. It's really, really not. Okay? It's really a beautiful reading. The end and the closure of these things is a very, very positive message. Oh, sorry, I have a little bit of arthritis and my hands today are really hurting a lot. It's a little difficult to shuffle. Okay, one more. This moving on really is, it's going to, I think maybe it's going to shake you up a little bit, okay? I think already you aren't feeling like your true self. Already you're starting to realize, if you haven't already, that things need to change, that there is something that needs to occur in your life in order for you to find happiness with someone, with your partner, with yourself, and moving on and moving away from that hope, moving on from, sometimes we get comfortable in these states, right? And we allow ourselves to just fester. We allow ourselves to just like it feels good sometimes to have this hope. This hope feels warm and it feels inviting and it feels, it makes you feel happy when you think about these things. And to leave those good feelings behind, I think is going to feel a little shaky for you. And the thing is that you can't have a relationship with hope, right? It's not real. It's not a person. It's just an idea. It's just a fantasy. It's just an imagination. And coming back to reality, one, it's kind of your strong suit because you are an earth sign after all. And coming back down to earth should make you feel, it might scare you, it might be frustrating, it might be difficult, but you are going to know and feel comfortable. I think you're going to feel comfortable with being uncomfortable because it's your very natural earth-like state, and that practicality that you have as an earth sign will come to play, and I think it will catapult you in ways that you cannot even begin to imagine. Things are going to come into your life, relationships, a person, an opportunity to grow your existing relationship, an opportunity to reconnect with that person that's very special to you. But only after you let things go. This is a message to look forward. It's a message to remain open, and not to judge or prejudge things that can come into our life that can be incredibly promising for us. The threes are my favorite cards. They're the cards of life, the cards of new things, new beginnings. Beginnings is very much a theme for you in this reading. It's very forward-looking. And like I said, being open to messages that you're meant to receive, open to opportunities, open to new people that may come in. And it's probably, most likely, someone that you never would have expected. A connection with someone that probably you don't know yet, And again, coming from a place, a type of person that you never would have expected, that would just come in and shake your world up in a very positive way. But it's only going to come in after you move on, after you take those steps to leave these things behind, This is a very mentally active month for you. This is a mental triumph, mental victory here. And unfortunately, those hopes can feel so good, they can feel so right. I'm not saying you should entirely lose hope entirely, but if something isn't panning out and you are hanging on to something and it's preventing you from exploring new things, then it might be time to let it go. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and shuffle and do, the general. Okay. Yes, my hands. Top one. Okay. For me, this card is very similar to the Nine of Pentacles, which we just pulled out. So far, like almost like three of the same. Four of the same, almost. It's not quite the same card, but similar message, same. Okay. I'm going to think about this for just a minute. I'm making a conscious effort to tie these generals into other areas, not just like tying it back into the love, because there are just so many dynamics in our life, right? We have finance, we have career, we have our mental and spiritual states and our physical states, and there are just so many different things that I think it's fair to just really explore other areas as well. But ultimately, mentally, I'm seeing a very similar message here for you, right? Number one, Queen of Pentacles, very much a prominent point. You are feeling not yourself. I think a lot of the signs this month aren't feeling like themselves. There's some shakeup in the energy of the stars. Again, I'm not an astrologer, I don't quite know, but there's something that's causing all of us to feel uneasy and to not be in our prime natural states, something that we all long for. And you feeling ungrounded, I think, because of a lot of the moving on and, accepting responsibilities. And, this can really indicate a lot of different things. These two cards together, I love these cards together because it's a very real idea. And what I mean by that is we move on, okay? Sometimes we make decisions that what we have might not be enough. We're not quite satisfied with what we have. Not saying that what we have is bad, not saying that the people in our lives are bad, our job might not be bad, our financial situation might be okay. Yet we crave always something more substantial. something that we feel can feed us more, feed our spirits more. And sometimes to do that, we are willing to accept additional responsibilities, okay? In a job setting, sometimes we switch from one company to another because we feel, one, not only might there be, more money or higher income opportunities, but there might just be more of a fulfillment there. And you're willing to work harder. You're willing to increase your responsibilities. You are Virgo. You are a workhorse. You get things done. You are a producer. You are a creator of things. You are, like I said, you're very practical. I think too, this idea of hope, right, from the last reading, I'm going to tie in the last reading a little bit. That idea of hope for you is something that really, because you are so practical, that when you are feeling so hopeful, there might be that internal conflict between your practicality and your hope, your fantasy state, and maybe on some level that you just really can't have both. And that in and of itself is causing you to be a little bit off your game. But I think what you're seeking, what it is you're craving and striving for in life is like something like super new and exciting, but not too new, not too exciting, just something a little bit that can harness the passion within you, okay? Because if you are giving up on hope, if you're leaving things behind, you're going to need to fulfill that with other things. New adventures, new travel opportunities, new people coming into your life, new social circles, okay? I kind of am sensing a little bit of a social element here this month for you. And I think there's an element of humility as well. I think the experience of moving on, the experience of letting something go, puts you feeling a little bit, humbled by that experience. Sometimes you don't get what you want. Sometimes you don't, the things you hope for, the people that you hope for, they don't come to fruition. And when they don't, you realize that you kind of are at the mercy of the universe at some time. You are, it's kind of like being in an ocean, right? You're at the mercy of the waves, and you can control it, and you can swim, and you can, but at a certain point, you're so small, not calling you a small person, but in the grand scheme of everything in this world, of everything in the universe, sometimes we realize how small we really are. And I think that's kind of what you're going through, right? And so you're seeking something to not feel that way. We all crave significance. We all want to be significant in our own life, in the lives of others, in our jobs. We want financial stability. We want, positions of power, perhaps. We want to be people that other people respect, right? We all want certain things, okay? What's interesting is this Ten of Swords in reverse. That idea of that stress relieving itself, that stress feeling lifted like a breath of fresh air. Okay, sometimes that moving on, it opens up so much emotional capacity, emotional space, right? In the warehouse of our emotional state, removing extra inventory, unneeded inventory, unsellable inventory, allows us to invite new things in, new, exciting, fun, and light-hearted types of things. Okay, I think with the entry of something new, I don't think this is like a person per se. I really just think it is something, some new drive within you, something that causes you to get up in the morning, to look your best, to feel your best, and to just go out there. If there is a job prospect for you, I don't know if it's really going to come to fruition at this point in time, but I do think that there's going to be an inkling of an idea, okay? Whether it is that you want a new job, to take up a new hobby, to start volunteering somewhere, doing something beneficial for the community, whatever it is, learning a language, learning how to sew, or, learning how to fly a plane, or whatever it is, okay? There's like two versions of you, right? It's kind of like a reflection. This might be how you really are, and this might be what you want, or what you have to be, what you need other people to perceive you to be, okay? Strong, stable, secure, confident, self-empowered. You might be scared, you might be frustrated, you might be feeling this way, but I think not only do you want other people to see you this way, but they actually do. That state of humility is very important, because once you realize our vulnerability, then we can walk forward with more confidence. Okay, confidence in vulnerability is kind of a strange concept, but I think there is reason to be confident because of that, because we're more aware of ourselves, we're more self-aware, we're more aware of our circumstances, we're aware of the world around us and others around us. I think people will perceive you this way. And with this weight being lifted, you are going to start seeing things very, very differently. The world is going to be different. You're going to experience it in different ways. This, to me, can be such an unexpected change of state. It can be so, it's just, there's no way to prejudge this hanged man. Okay, there's no way. There's no way for you to know how long it's going to take. There's no way for you to know when it's going to really occur. Like I said, it's not like an aha moment where it just bam comes in and everything's different. It's more subtle. And all of a sudden one day you wake up and you say, wow, I've never really looked at it that way before. Or wow, I really have a different outlook on this situation. I have a different outlook on those people at work and this client that's been driving me crazy. I'm starting to see it from their side. And it might feel a little prolonged, a little stretched out, but ultimately, I'm not going to talk about that card yet because I'm going to pull out some more. Oh, well, there's the aha moment. Okay, there's the change. Okay. Truly, the reason why I didn't want to talk about it was because I just felt like I was saying the same thing, but truly there is an air about you where you just are feeling off balance. Okay, and that's all I'm going to say about that, because there is something new and wonderful coming your way, and despite what I just said about the change of mind, or the perception or perspective. Sorry, I'm saying a lot of things. Changing and morphing into something else. Here is the aha moment. Here is the significant change. Here is some opportunity. This is a work opportunity, a new job, an opportunity for promotion. And not only that, something that comes in that you are going to love. A very passionate, to have the Knight of Wands and the Page of Cups, it's very heart related, right? It fulfills us in mental and emotional ways. It stimulates us, it excites us, it makes us feel connected to other people, to God, to so many different things, and it realigns who we are, okay? And it's going to happen quickly, despite what I said. I think the change of mind or the mindset might be a little bit prolonged, or it might take time for you to start to see things differently. But once you do, there's something in store for you, okay? A business opportunity, a partnership opportunity, I put it in hobbies, right? Hobbies are very important. They take up our time, but there are things that we do to fulfill ourselves. Like for me, right, this tarot is a hobby, but I love it. And because it's not my job, it's not what I do for money, because it's something that I do purely because I love it, I am able to spend time and research and watch others and do things that make me feel happy, okay? And that's very important for people. And even I'm using myself as an example just because you can relate because you're watching the tarot. But even like I said, learning a language so you can go travel to somewhere new and feel confident in communicating with people, or learning how to build those ships in bottles, or learning how to quilt, or I'm saying just a whole bunch of random things, obviously, but whatever it is, okay, there's an opportunity there. And now might be the time when you find it, or when you act on it, okay? This might be something that you do for family members as well. There might be an opportunity there. So just be, I don't even say be on the lookout, because this is an inevitability. It's something that is bound to happen, whether we push it forward to make it happen, or whether the universe says, okay, it's time. It's going to happen whether you like it or not. And it forces us to go in new directions. This is such an obvious entry of something. The Knights and the Pages, they are new powerful forces that come in. They're new energetic states. They're new energies in our lives, in our minds. And there is no doubt in my mind that there are new things on the horizon for you in any area, even relationship-wise, okay? Relationship-wise, work-wise, financial opportunity-wise, traveling, learning new things. And it's just so many positive things that whatever it is you're leaving behind, I think will soon become a forgotten memory. Not a forgotten memory, but like just a memory, I guess. It'll almost be as though it never happened. That clinging on to things, it's not even going to be a thing. It's not even going to be an issue for you coming. So a really, really positive outcome, outcome cards here. Super excited. So I wish you nothing but the best. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next month.